Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm sharing another Christmas card, this time featuring the Gnome for the Holidays from Hello Bluebird. I'm combining this set with the Charlie Large Outline Alpha die. It was also newly released. I already had the Charlie dies, Charlie Alpha, but this one with the outline, I just love it, and it's bigger, so it helps if you want to have some bigger words. And then, as I said, the Gnome for the Holidays. This is my first stamp set with gnomes. I avoided buying sets with gnomes for a very long time. But I gave in as soon as I saw the mushroom house. And so this is my gnome set. There are others by Hello Bluebird, so now I also have to have those, but they are on my wish list, my never-ending wish list. First of all, the faces. I say it all the time. Personally, faces and hair, it's the most difficult thing for me to color with Copic markers. So I tend to start with those things first, or those parts first, in case they fail. Then I can start all over without having to recolor all the other things as well. So that's the logic. The paper that I'm using today is Transotype Perfect Coloring Paper, and I stamped the images using Gina Design's Amalgam ink Obsidian. Now, can we just talk about how cute this is? It's just adorable. I went for greens and reds today, really original colors for Christmas. But I thought, did I make a lot with greens and reds? I think it's quite alright. I think I made a lot with teals as well, definitely lately, and pinks lately. But this one is with the more traditional Christmas colors. Also, I'm reusing the same red combination everywhere, same green combination everywhere. Again, there are quite a lot of colors this time, but they are all the same. So if you want to revisit the color combinations, then you can find them listed on my blog post. There is a link towards it in the description box. So, about the gnomes. There are many brands out there with cute gnomes, so I definitely think if you don't have Hello Bluebird or you don't have these alphas, there are so many alphas out there. I love them all, and lately, well, actually since 2021, I'm really hoarding all of the different alpha sets that are out there because there is just, well, the scripts are different, and I really like emphasizing a word or just have one word on my card lately. Well, lately also 2021, I think. Phases. We work in phases in this hobby. Me personally, I can see it afterwards when I check Instagram and such that there was a phase. Or whenever something works out great and the stuff is still on your desk, that you are thinking in the same way, but just trying to make another card, but maybe with the same colors, maybe with the same stamp set, just because you're in some sort of a phase. Well, leaving the phases for what they are, I really enjoyed making this card. I wanted to do the gnomes, I wanted to do the mushrooms, and then have some fun with the letters, and that's what I did. I started with this, really simple, a few images, and the idea of having a big word, and then it all evolved to, well, this card. So I don't know what about you, but I this year, as I said already, I gave a lot of Christmas cards to my parents. I am lacking myself of Christmas cards, and I have been receiving incredible Happy Mail Christmas cards from so many card makers that I'm blushing while I'm watching all of the cards. They are in my living room, and I see them every moment of the day. Every time that I pass by, I'm looking at those cards because we all know the effort that someone puts in it, and I just think it's the most gorgeous way of wishing someone a Merry Christmas. Now, as I am not having nearly enough cards to finally send to all of my family members, I decided to just don't rush with the Christmas cards you send to your family. That's a must. And then, if you have leftovers, you send to your crafty friends. And then, if nothing is left over, I made quite a lot of Happy Mail last year, so I'm just planning on mailing Happy Mail towards everyone that I didn't got a Christmas card for. But the thing with Happy Mail, and I don't know if it's everywhere in the world, but Happy Mail truly, if I try to explain it to someone, they look at me like I'm the crazy person. It's not true. Happy Mail exists and it makes people happy. The word itself says that. And so every time I make a Happy Mail card, then my friends are like, "Oh, it's really gorgeous, but what do you use it for?" And I'm like "Yeah, just sending someone." And it's apparently something that isn't really known aside from the card making industry and my fellow card makers. So I'm just going to use my Happy Mail cards to send everyone a bit of Happy Mail. I think, and that's how I try to avoid having all the Christmas card stress. And every time that I receive now a card, I think, "Oh, that's gorgeous. You get Happy Mail if I don't have a Christmas card left." And also, it's almost Christmas. I should really send out those Christmas cards to the family members because, well, here in Belgium, everything is taking its time. I don't know how it's with you, but I'm living in a big city. I'm living in Ghent at the moment. And so here we get mail every day because it's the big city. Like my parents, for example, they get mail twice a week. So if I post it the wrong day, then it will only arrive next week after Christmas, maybe just before New Year's, but nobody's sure about that. So I might be in trouble, but at least I send one. No, I plan on sending cards. I'm the worst. I don't know how it's with you. I make cards, but sending them is really hard. I'm really terrible. But Happy Mail, I have it in my head. I don't have any, how do you say it? So the good kind of things that you want to do in the next year. Just missing the word at this moment, but I don't have them. I decided to not pressure myself next year, but because there is always like, okay, I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna be ahead of time with things, I'm gonna clean the house every week, and you know, those things never happen, or they just happen during January, or the losing weight part is really hard because Christmas and New Year's, well, there is a lot of calories at those days, so it's hard to lose weight right after that. So I decided to not have that this year, except for the Happy Meal. I really want to send Happy Meal to my crafty friends who appreciate all the effort. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, back to the card. I die cut an A2 size using the Waffle Flowers A2 layers die, and I also die cut a frame with it. I just ink blended a tiny bit of cracked pistachio on that A2 panel, and now I added the frame. Really simple. As you can see, the Mary, I die cut it twice out of white cardstock and once out of my favorite pattern paper. Yeah, I know, I'm repeating myself. It's getting ridiculous, but I need, well, I just need an abonnement. I don't know how to say it in English. Maybe it's the same, but just another pronunciation. But I need like this pattern paper every day of the week arriving through mail just because I subscribe to that or anything like that. I never want to run out. I think I need another paper pack. And it's always the same colors that I use first. So in the end, I'm just stuck with the lightest yellow and the darkest purple, I think, because those two colors I don't use often. It's, well, but it's gorgeous. So I laid it out a bit wonky, that's what I tried to do, and then I had those hills softly ink blended on the back. So now I'm just adding all those letters, and then the white outline from my alphas I have doubled up, and I'm just adding it around the pattern paper. So Decided to add an extra sentiment, just Merry Christmas. I'm not going to mask off Merry. I think we can repeat this without any issues. So I'm just adding that as well. And once it's on there, I'm going to add glossy accents. Yeah, I know. Maybe it is a bit much. You don't need to. Definitely don't. But I thought with the doubled up wide, I had just the perfect framing to add the glossy in between. And so I started on it, and then once you get started, you cannot stop, of course. So I did, of course, all of the letters with the glossy accents. If you want to save time, however, maybe just leave the glossy accents because that has to dry. And I fixed with my craft knife those areas that were really, really small and tiny. I just pushed the glossy accents into those areas with something fine like a craft knife. So once I did that, of course, I had no patience. So I already started adding all of the images as well. I had to watch out a bit for the glossy accents to not push it too far in it. But actually I added the images. Then I let my panel dry a bit, and then I again had no patience and added it to my car base. So for my images, I'm using thin foam squares mostly, except for those areas that are overlapping. Again, my glossy accents were still wet. If I would have had more patience, I would have definitely waited until the glossy accents was dry. But well, that lovely wreath I'm going to hang on the R. I didn't need any glue because the glossy accents is quite tacky, so I just added it in the glossy accent. Then the mushroom, and then I have another mushroom. How cute is this? And actually there isn't a lot that you need to do. You can also use not pattern paper but one color paper, or do an ink blended version and then cut the Merry Owl or anything like that. There are so many ways to recreate this card in your own way. I definitely think you will have a lot of fun with it. As embellishments, I decided to add these Snowdrift. These are sprinkles from little things from Lucy's cards, and I just added it everywhere a bit. I had a lot of fun laying everything out, and actually it started with covering up some areas where I had some glue residue on my ink blended part, and well, adding these was covering up those tiny smudges and stuff. So once I was happy with placement, which took a bit of time, I added everything with some liquid glue. And then of course you can stop there, but today I didn't. I just continued with adding more and more and more. I also used some stickles, stardust, and some Nouveau drops. So first the stickles on the heads, and then the Nouveau drops that I used were the Simply White. And I love adding this as sort of a snowy kind of element, so I did that on all of the mushrooms. And as my panel was now finished, I added it onto a card base using some Pretty Adhesive Roller. Personally, if I had more patience, I would have waited with that to let all of those glossy accents dry, but I added it anyway. But as you can see here, it was a bit fiddling to press it down completely, but it worked, however. And so that is my card. It's a really fun, but I think at the same time also really simple card. So yeah, let me know what you think. If you like this video, you can always give it a thumbs up. I would truly appreciate that. I want to wish you all incredible holidays. I hope that you are surrounded with the people you love. Thank you so much for stopping by and sticking around. I truly, truly love you all. Thank you, and I'll be back soon with some new crafty inspiration. Merry Christmas! Bye!